Jest.
And was walking back to my car, I started laughing out loud, and I said, "Forrest Fenn, did you really do that?" but I had a hole card. I told myself, if I decide later I didn't want to do it, I could go back and get it. One of the really big things in the White House and the Pentagon is, what is our degree of deniability? If this doesn't work, how do we get out? Before we decide we're going to do it, let's figure out how we can get out of it if it doesn't work. Mm-hmm. And that was a big thing. And I learned from that. And everything I did that was pretty wild in the Air Force, I figured if it doesn't work, I'll think of something. You know, I always had hole cards. Yeah. You know, let me tell you what a hole card is. Did I tell you this story? Yep. Hole cards are very important to me, as it turned out. And I'll tell you one old story. This salesman goes to Green Bay, Wisconsin. He's trying to sell aluminum pots and pans. He doesn't belong. He's frustrated. It's raining outside. His wife and kids are 500 miles away. And he goes in this bar and sits down and orders a beer. And this big guy comes in and sits down next to him and orders a beer, and they start talking back and forth. Finally, the big guy says, "Well, tell me, sir," says, "how do you like Green Bay, Wisconsin?" And the salesman says, "I don't like it. It seems there's nobody here but prostitutes and football players." This big guy says, "Well, listen, you son of a bitch, I should tell you my mother lives in Green Bay." The salesman said, "Oh, yeah, what position does she play?" You know, he was able to play a hole card and get out of it. Okay. Very important not only in the military but in business. I mean, if this doesn't work, where am I? Right. Okay. I told myself, if I decide later I didn't want to do it, I could go back and get it. But when everything was ready to go hide the treasure chest, I had kind of an empty feeling. And I felt empty. When I hid the treasure chest, walking back to my car, it had a strange sensation. I asked myself out loud, I said, "Forrest, did you really do that?"